What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Nio. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what shorts did, and go over everything else that you need to know for today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Nio did go down 1.14%, had a low of $5.10. So that is a very strong support. So bounced off of that. I'll talk about that and what that means near the tail end of the video when I go over technicals and whatever else. But 47.7 million shares being traded today, 58 is the average. Despite the higher volume, a lot of it was algorithmic trading, so a lot of this barcoding right here. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So not all that much, but it's still enough to kind of see that institutions are paying attention to Nio. So I think that's more of an important aspect rather than anything. But when it comes down to today, there was no news, no SEC filings, nothing like that. So last news that did come out officially was on May the 1st, and that was just April numbers. So in a couple of weeks, we'll have May numbers, and potentially if they're as positive as April's, then you could see a nice breakout with Nio, similar to what happened with these numbers right here. So I think that might be a good thing, the next big catalyst, at least for Nio, confirmed catalyst. There was a couple rumors that's been floating around today, one of which I want to share with you. But shorts though, they are kind of hesitant as well about doubling down with Nio. So a lot of stocks right now, EV stocks, are getting slammed, and as a result, shorts are increasing. Nio was among the very small handful where shorts did return some shares. So they returned 1.11 million shares, 13.54% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 185.64 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 1.39%, and then utilization is 79.85%. So a lot of good information right here. Obviously, shorts haven't really done all that much. You can kind of see that right here. So they've somewhat stabilized. You have seen more, especially last week, kind of a broad market squeeze, if that makes sense. Nio did participate in that a little bit, but shorts didn't really return a lot of shares with Nio. So that could really stand to benefit Nio, potentially with good May numbers in a couple of weeks, like I said. One thing that did come out I just wanted to share with you was this. So potentially Nio and Mercedes as a partnership. So of course this is just rumors. Don't trust everything you read on the internet, but you never know. There was a couple other, I guess, rumors of partnerships that's been floating around for a while now. So you know what? Logically, this does make sense in my opinion, especially based on what has come out recently with Mercedes and Nio. Obviously, I think it'd just be beneficial for them. They love their partnerships. So, you know, like, I think that'd be a very good deal. Partnership, I don't know what the actual terms or conditions would be, but that would really open up the door for Nio, at least throughout on the European front, a lot more. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And it's been a while since I've covered Nio, so I'll just give you a quick overview, for instance, of this right here. So these are some of the latest analyst ratings. Last one was done 5 days ago, $10.40 price target. Citi, Jeff, who does have a 35% success rating. So it's kind of garbage, but then again, a lot of analysts that do cover EVs all have horrible ratings because I guess they've all been crap. Gotta admit that. But aside from that, 6 days ago, $5.40, JP Morgan, Nick, who has a 47% success rating. Then aside from that, last one was done 27 days ago. While I'm on here, through the actual Elliott Wave technicals, a lot of people like that. It does have a pivot point of $4.53. So for as long as Nio is above that, which right now it is, you can anticipate $6.64 to $7.05. So again, that's fairly good, at least in the short term. So hopefully that does come. My second position, so I do have two, one of which is at $4 and I think it's 36 or 46 cents. Second is $6.50 through Interactive Brokers. So it'd be kind of good to finally be green on that position. So if it does get to 7, I don't think I'd sell because I am aiming for at least 9, potentially higher, at least to return or sell my Interactive position with that. My other one that I have that I showed you guys prior, I'm going to be holding that one for a little bit longer. And I've been doing options as well. So obviously you can collect a lot of good premiums on a lot of volatile stocks such as Nio. So if you guys don't know options, highly suggest in researching them. But speaking of options, let's kind of rotate and talk on that. So today there was $2.09 million in calls, 1.92 million in puts. Sentiment wise though, 58% of all the options being done today were optimistic. So I see that as good. If shorts on the other hand did increase today, then I would say that obviously that would be the attributing factor, but they returned. So that is legitimate, very bullish data. That's how I interpret that at least. But looking right here, these are some of the call options that were purchased today. So there is a consensus for it to be above 550 or between the 550 and 6 by the end of this week. So a nice continuation of that rally. And then looking at puts, you do see a consensus for it to be sub $5. So in my opinion, risk versus reward is very much in favor of it kind of bouncing higher. One thing I just wanted to share with you though, based on this, so this is Q1 information all compiled together. So in Q1, there was 21.74 million call options purchased by hedge funds. So I think that's pretty kick-ass. It is down about 12.84% from the quarter prior, but as you can kind of see, all 13F filers, 58.57 million, and that is down 14.06%. But still, it goes to show at least that institutions do believe in Nio. And probably a lot of people know that Nio is going to go up, they just don't know when. So one good way to do that is through call options, right? So kind of interesting stuff. I just wanted to share that with you. And as I've already shown you this, so these are some of the transactions above $100,000 on the secondary market. These are the ones on the dark pool. Dark pool is often enough linked to shorting. So you do see a couple big ones here. So 3.03, 3.02. So probably that is the same actual entity right there. But yeah, dark pool is very, very popular, especially when it comes down to Nio. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But right now, let's talk on technicals. So with it at 522, it is trading between this R2 and this R3. So 555 is going to be the next strong resistance slash target for Nio, at least in the next couple of days. And so like I mentioned at the very beginning, it did bounce off of that very strong support of this R2. So $5.10. So going forward into the next couple of days, we know at least that is a very strong support and is being held up by true institutions, not just fake algorithmic trading, by true institutions. So that, in my opinion, is a pretty kick-ass thing to know at least. And on the actual chart itself, so let's zoom in a little bit. So right now we are still higher percentile of the Bollinger Band. It did bounce off of that central Bollinger Band right here as well, above that 50-day moving average. And in my opinion, I feel like until they unveil their main numbers, it is just going to be wedge bound between that 50 and 100-day moving average, as you can kind of see right here. So that's probably what is going to happen, at least for the foreseeable future. Looking at stochastic, you do see a bearish deviation, so red line above the white, but it is at 50, so it's not really considered overbought nor oversold, somewhat neutral for that. A number of retail investors have been getting out over this last couple of days. So let me know your thoughts if you were one of those individuals that did sell out recently, or have you been buying? What have you been doing? I myself haven't really been buying any more additional shares, just been doing options. Selling covered calls, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with my position with Nio. If it does ever get back into the fours, or potentially like low fours, then yeah, that's where I'll be more of a buyer. But right now the market's just absolutely crazy. It seems like there's so many different geopolitical issues and elections right around the corner. Just, I don't know, it's kind of like, sometimes it feels like a casino for the most part sometimes. But you know what, I really do like Nio. They kick ass with their numbers, and yeah, I think profitability will be right around the corner, and that is just going to be a very big defining point for Nio. So let me know your thoughts on Nio. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, don't forget to take advantage of that promo with Moomoo, as I always share with you. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.